Listen, bases loaded, bottom of the ninth. Listen, I want to talk about lust. And I came up with this topic to help a lot of men out because I saw a comment and this guy said, "Are you serious? Did you really go that long?" Yes, I really went over 4 years, monk mode. Now, somebody else also said, "How do you do it?" I'm gonna tell you how you do it. Let me tell you guys something. In order to see a woman for who she truly is, you cannot lust after her. And when I mean lust after her, you cannot lust at anything on her. You gotta treat it, when you see a beautiful woman, you gotta treat it like art at a museum. You could look, but you can't touch. This is gonna be one of the realest videos ever. And I'm gonna say this again, when you see a beautiful woman and you're not established, you have to treat it like museum in an art room. You could look, but don't touch. The problem is a lot of guys, they see women and they want to touch. You're probably thinking, "Mr. Keep It Simple, stop playing." How come do they want to touch? They want to touch only simply because of lust. Lust make you want to touch. If you don't lust, you don't want to touch. And that's how it goes. See, they like to laugh at guys who are masterminds. And we're going to do a part 2, but I'm going to give you a little preview. A person that's a mastermind, they think in a long term. A person that's a mastermind will never ever fall for the short term. We're going to do 10-minute videos, probably 12-minute videos. We're going to go. But when it's all said and done, we're not trying to trip the algorithm up. So just expect 2 good 12-minute videos to 10-minute videos. Let it breathe. Déjalo respirar. You feel me? Now, with that being said, if you see a beautiful woman, she could be curvaceous, she could be thick. When it's all said and done, you still can't lust. You probably think of Mr. Keep It Simple, "I never saw a woman like her." Still, you cannot lust. See, the thing about lusting is, lust is not of God because lust creates fear. When you lust after a woman or you lust after, riches, or you lust after anything, what happens is it creates a scarcity mindset because you feel like, "I gotta have this and I gotta have it in a moment." Let me tell you guys something. I've been on YouTube for 5 years. It has been more of the FLS supporting behind the scenes than actually wins on YouTube. I'm gonna be the first one to say I have been taking 5 years of L's. And I'm gonna say this again. I'm just gonna say this in all humility. I have been taking 5 years of L's on YouTube. You feel me? 5 years of L's. You're probably thinking, "Mr. Keep It Simple, you record like you're winning." That's because I don't lust after the thought of being a YouTuber. When I drop content genuinely from the heart. It doesn't matter if I'm monetized or not. If I drop a video, I'm dropping a video because, first of all, I want you guys to respect other people's daughters. Everybody put OPD in the chat. Other people's daughters. When you respect other people's daughters, you're going to make the community a safe place. You're going to make the world a better place. We can change the world if we respect women. And a lot of guys don't respect women because they don't see women as other people's daughters. You got to respect other people's daughters. Once you respect other people's daughters, you will see every woman in a community as more like a sister than something you want to approach. See, this content is serious content. This is classified content because it's all about respecting people in general. It's not about disrespecting people. Now, I get disrespected by people that are out of shape. So when I talk about it, I'm not dissing them back. It's just pattern recognition. I realize people that are not in shape, they tend to try to play with me. They try to get me out of character. But when it's all said and done, I don't have a problem with them. I just know from pattern recognition, I don't have time. I don't have time to talk to people in shape. I don't have time to talk to people out of shape. But let's go back to lust. Now, believe it or not, it might sound crazy, but most women are crossing their fingers and hoping that you lust. Now, let's get into the good thing. The good part, the good news. I saw today, it was a woman. She literally spent almost upwards to $8,000 for a BBL. What do you think she's hoping for? She is crossing her fingers that she get this BBL and some guy in a McLaren power steering is gonna come through God-fearing and take care of her. She's crossing her fingers because She doesn't know if the BBL is going to work. She doesn't know the results of the BBL. She is literally hoping that men, listen, when it's all said and done, I believe the only men that really are not focusing on lust is guys that are almost getting closer to God, guys that are almost getting closer to heaven. It's just when you get older, like 40, 50, you realize you're not going to be on this earth too much longer. So you try to make your wrongs right, if that makes sense. So me, at the age of 40, I'm feeling more like Big Pun. I don't want to be a player no more. When I was young, I thought being a player was cool because we watched movies like Bill Bellamy. But now that I'm 40, I could care less. And when it's all said and done, I want to let you guys know that you got to think long term when it comes to relationships. You got to think, do I want to be with the woman when she's 80? Do I want to be with the woman when she's 90? Do I want to be with a woman when she's 70? Most guys are not thinking like that because they're thinking with their lower head. They're not thinking with their big head. Listen, if you want companionship, I will say get a dog, and a small dog at that. Because when you get a small dog, it's easier to travel. But if you get a big dog, I'm not saying you can't, but when it's all said and done, a small dog is easier to travel. And it will give you a sense of companionship. But I think the biggest problem in the world is most men are afraid to be alone. And I'm gonna say this again, the majority of men are afraid to be alone. So when you're afraid to be alone, what happens is you will invite everything in your home. And I'm gonna say this again, most people are afraid to be alone. So when you're afraid to be alone, you will invite everything in your home. I'm here to tell you, when you actually got something to lose, you can't be around everybody. And I'm gonna say this again, when you actually have something to lose, you can't invite everything in your home. You can't be around everybody because you actually have something to lose. The majority of people, they don't keep the end in sight. My gift to you is always keep the end in sight. Think about, do you want to be with this woman in her 40s? Do you want to be with this woman in her 50s? Do you want to be with her in her 60s? Do you want to be with her in her 70s? If she stays alive, do you want to be with her in her 80s? If she's still alive, do you want to be with her in her 90s? And if she's still alive, do you want to be with her in her 100? Most guys, the answer would be no. But the reason they will still interact with this woman, the reason they will still date this woman is because most guys, they don't keep the end in sight. And when you don't keep the end in sight, actually, this gives all the power to the woman because you lusted after her. I am here to tell you, if you ever lusted after a woman, you're not the only one. But the question is, how long are you going to continue to keep lusting after women? Listen, when it's all said and done, when your friends are not around, when the community's not around, if a woman catches you lusting, she's going to lose respect for you. I don't care if you don't think that. I'm here to tell you that if a woman catches you lusting after her, she's going to lose respect. Because what happens is, in essence, when you lust, it makes you weak. So you guys have to understand, you got to think, why would you want to be weak? Now, sometimes the flesh wants to feel weak, but you got to stop and think logically, why would you want to be weak? See, it's always good to use your brain. I don't care what anybody says. Biceps are cool, but your brain, that's the strongest muscle you have. And I'm gonna say this again, your brain is the most powerful muscle that you have. That's something you don't want to destroy. And I'm gonna say this again, that's the muscle you want to train the most. The more you train your brain, the better decisions you will make. If you want a better life, all you have to do is make better decisions. And if you want to make better decisions, you have to stop lusting after women. I will say the things that I do for women, I do it for them because they need help. I don't do it for them because I want something in return. I don't do it for them because I'm lusting after them. I will be honest, the women that I have helped in the past, I really, after a while, when I saw their attitudes for who they truly were, It was an ultimate turnoff, but I would still help them because at the end of the day, we all make mistakes in life. Nobody's perfect, but self-development is worth it. We're going 12 minutes with this video. And I just want to say that if you stop lusting after a woman, you get to see her in real time. Most people cannot see people, places, and things in real time. But the minute you're able to see people, places, and things in real time, the better off you'll be and the less time you'll waste. Because when it's all said and done, as humans, we want to think that humans are great people. I'm here to tell you that that's far from the truth. And if you believe that, you're going to live a hard life. The reason I don't live a hard life is because I realize in order to live a better life, I will have to stop lusting after things in general. And I'm gonna say this again. If you want to live a better life, you have to make better decisions. If you lust after anything in life, that's not a good decision. It's a bad decision. If you lust after a Lamborghini, you're gonna get the worst interest rate. If you lust after a lifestyle, you will do things, collab with people you don't like, and you're gonna regret it because you lusted after a lifestyle. A lot of people that join organizations, they only join them because they're lusting after what the organization could do for them. If you think long term, you will realize that the Lord is your shepherd. You have no need to want. Trust in the Lord for your every need. And when the timing is right, the timing is right. But when you lust, it's hard to get to know a woman. When you lust, it's impossible to love her. When you lust, you can't even hear what she's telling you. When it's all said and done, I will suggest that men slow things down. Business, friends, community, interactions, just slow things down. Take your time. If you take your time, you will be able to listen. When it's all said and done, when it comes to a man, it is hard to literally hear a woman out if you're thinking on making her want to shout. And I'm gonna say this again, it's hard to hear her out when your end game is making her shout. I will say, don't have an end game with any woman. If you guys talk or if that's what you want to do, let things happen more organic. Don't rush any interaction in life. And if you don't rush any interaction in life, there is no way you can ever get played. And I'm gonna say this again, if you don't rush interactions with women, there is no way you can feel like, oh, she played me. No, you played yourself by lusting. And that's what most men don't want to hear. A lot of men really have some type of, vendettas. A lot of men feel some type of way about women in the past, and they only feel that way because they jumped the gun. You feel me? We got to do a part 2 on lust because I should have thought about that from the start. But like I said, nobody's perfect, but self-development is worth it. You never want to jump the gun. When a lot of women are going out and getting BBLs, they jump in the gun. They feel like, oh, if I get this BBL surgery, instead of going to the gym, I can get faster results. They're lusting after a lifestyle. So lust could destroy men. It could destroy women. It could destroy kids. It could destroy grandparents. Lust in general is not good. A lot of people will lust after things that you have. And you will sit back and think, how you gonna lust after what I have? But believe it or not, people could lust after what you have. They could lust after your life, your money, your car, your tofu. Yeah, your tofu. They could lust after the fact that you eat tofu for $30. When it's all said and done, you wanna make sure that you're not around people who are lustful, because lustful people are the most dangerous people in the world. And I'm gonna say this again, lustful people are the most dangerous people in the world because you don't know how far they'll go. Me personally, I wouldn't trust anybody in survival mode for business, relationships, interactions. Once you see a person is in survival mode, that's a clear sign that they are desperate. Listen, I don't want to judge people, but the best advice that I could give you is stay away from desperate people. If a woman gets a BBL, she is desperate. That is a Hail Mary at skipping the gym. And I'm gonna say this again, that is her Hail Mary at skipping the gym. When you go to the gym, you could pretty much be the creative designer of how you want to sculpt your body. Most women wouldn't want to go to the gym, but they want to go to a doctor, a mad scientist, and get a BBL or a fat transfer. Make it make sense. If you could get in the gym, why not just get it on the floor? Why not just go to the gym? But no, what they want to do is they want to skip the process and get the results of a lifestyle of lust. So when it's all said and done, a woman that loves a man, she will make sure you never lust after her. And vice versa. If a man loves a woman, he will make sure that you never lust. When it's all said and done, listen, we all got to respect each other as a whole. And in the words of Ronnie King, can we all just get along? Let it breathe.